Number 1. Honda Accord. Hey everyone, welcome back. So let's talk about the upcoming 2026 Honda Accord. Because Honda looks ready to remind everyone why this sedan has been a favorite for decades. The Accord has always been about balance, comfort, reliability and efficiency. And for 2026, it feels like Honda is polishing that formula even further while adding just enough modern flair to keep things exciting. Before we go any further, if you enjoy updates on upcoming cars, hybrids and everyday vehicles that actually matter, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and you won't miss any of the latest 2026 model reveals coming your way. Design-wise, the 2026 Accord keeps its clean, sleek look, but sharpens things up in subtle ways. The front end is expected to look a bit more confident, with slimmer headlights and a smoother grille that gives the car a more upscale presence. It's not flashy or overstyled, it just looks refined, like a car that knows exactly what it's supposed to be. Compared to older Accords, this one feels more mature and premium, especially when you see it rolling down the road. Under the hood, the hybrid version continues to be a big focus. Honda's hybrid setup is known for being smooth and easy to live with, and the 2026 Accord builds on that with better efficiency and a more responsive feel in everyday driving. It's the kind of car that feels quiet and relaxed in traffic, but still confident when you need to pass or merge. For long commutes or road trips, it's exactly what most drivers want. Now, while the Accord isn't an off-road vehicle, Honda has made it more confident in all kinds of conditions. Improved traction systems and available all-wheel drive in some markets mean better stability in rain or light snow. It's not about going off the beaten path, it's about feeling secure and planted no matter the weather. Inside the cabin is where the 2026 Accord really shines. The interior is expected to feel more modern and user-friendly, with a larger center screen, cleaner graphics and controls that just make sense. Honda has always been good at ergonomics, and this model continues that trend with comfortable seats, smart storage, and an overall layout that feels calm and well thought out. Compared to older models, the tech feels more integrated without being overwhelming. When it comes to pricing, the 2026 Accord is expected to remain very competitive. There may be a slight bump due to new tech and hybrid improvements, but Honda knows this car needs to stay affordable. That's always been part of the Accord's appeal. You get a lot of car for the money, and that doesn't seem to be changing. Looking back at past generations, the 2026 Accord feels like a natural evolution. It keeps the reliability and comfort people trust while adding better efficiency, cleaner styling, and more modern features. It's not trying to reinvent itself, it's just getting better at what it's always done best. Number 2. Subaru Outback. You know that feeling when a vehicle just gets you? Something that feels adventurous, dependable, and ready for whatever the road or trail throws at you? That's exactly the vibe we're getting from the upcoming 2026 Subaru Outback. And man, this new generation is shaping up to be something really special. Right off the bat, the design feels like a confident evolution of what made the Outback such a fan favorite. It's familiar in that classic Outback way you'd recognize from a mile away, but everything just looks a bit sharper, a bit more purposeful. The front end has a stronger presence, the lights are sleeker, and there's this rugged yet refined stance that makes you want to take the scenic route home every day. What's really exciting is how Subaru continues to push into the hybrid world. The 2026 Outback brings an upgraded hybrid powertrain that gives you better fuel efficiency without giving up the go-anywhere spirit that Outback drivers love. It's smooth, it's responsive, and it feels like a real step forward from past models. Perfect for daily driving around town or hitting the open highway without constantly watching the fuel gauge. And speaking of adventure, the off-road capability still feels like a core part of the Outback's identity. Subaru's all-wheel drive system has always been one of the best in the business, whether you're dealing with rain, mud, snow or gravel. And this new Outback builds on that with a suspension tuned for more confidence on rougher terrain. It's not trying to be a hardcore rock crawler, but it absolutely handles real-world trail conditions with poise, and that's what most of us are really after. Inside, Subaru has taken a thoughtful approach with the cabin. It feels more modern, more refined, and more comfortable than before. The seats are supportive for long drives, the materials feel nicer, and the new tech, especially the upgraded infotainment interface, feels intuitive and easy to use without being distracting. There's plenty of room for people and gear, which has always been one of the Outback's strongest points, and this generation just builds on that strength. Now let's talk pricing. While Subaru hasn't announced exact numbers just yet, everything we're hearing suggests that the 2026 Outback will stay competitive with the rest of the segment. You're getting a lot of value for what you're paying for, especially when you factor in the hybrid efficiency, the off-road capability, and the everyday usability that makes the Outback such a well-rounded choice. When you compare it to past models, the 2026 Outback feels like a thoughtful evolution rather than a complete rewrite. It keeps all the things people fell in love with: durability, confidence in all weather, generous cargo space, but adds a bit more modern flair, better efficiency, and a more confident look on the outside. It feels like a natural progression that honors its heritage while stepping firmly into the future. Number 3. Toyota Corolla Cross. You know those cars that just seem to quietly do everything right? The ones that aren't flashy, but you like them more every time you drive them? That's the vibe Toyota has been perfecting with the Corolla family. And now the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross looks ready to take things even further. Right off the bat, the design feels fresh while still clearly being part of the Corolla family. It keeps that compact SUV feel we all love. Easy to park, comfortable to drive, and just the right size for city streets or weekend getaways. But with sharper lines and a bolder front fascia that gives it a bit more personality. It's not trying to be the biggest SUV on the road, but it definitely looks like something new in the segment. Under the hood is where things get really interesting. Toyota continues to push toward efficiency and smarter driving with the updated hybrid system in the 2026 Corolla Cross. Now, I know some people think hybrid and imagine a car that just saves gas. But here it feels like Toyota is finding that sweet spot between fuel economy and enjoyable power. Whether you're cruising around town or heading out for a long trip, it feels smooth and confident, and the improved efficiency makes it easy to live with every day. Now, this isn't an off-road beast, it's a compact SUV. But Toyota hasn't forgotten that a lot of people want a vehicle that can handle more than just smooth pavement. Available all-wheel drive and a slightly rugged suspension setup make the Corolla Cross feel ready for gravel roads, snowy days, and light trails. It's not trying to replace a Jeep or a hardcore off-roader, but it does give you peace of mind when the pavement ends and adventure begins. Inside, Toyota has stepped up the interior comfort and tech in a way that feels modern without being overwhelming. The updated cabin feels brighter, more refined, and just more premium than before, with a larger screen, intuitive controls, and good-looking materials throughout. It's the kind of place you can imagine spending hours comfortably, whether you're stuck in traffic or heading out for a weekend road trip. And storage space is still generous. Definitely a win for anyone who likes gear, groceries, or luggage. Pricing for the 2026 Corolla Cross hasn't been locked in yet, but everything we're hearing suggests that Toyota is planning to keep it competitive in the compact SUV segment. That's one of the reasons these things sell so well. You get a lot of value for what you're paying for, especially when you consider the hybrid efficiency and standard safety features that Toyota usually includes. When you compare this to past models, it feels like a natural evolution rather than a complete overhaul. The original Corolla Cross was already a smart choice if you wanted something versatile and reliable, and this new version just builds on that foundation with better design, better efficiency, and a more modern feel overall. It keeps everything we liked before and just makes it a bit more, whether that's comfort, tech, or everyday usability. All in all, the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross feels like a practical, well-rounded compact SUV that's ready for a lot of different lifestyles, from daily commuting to weekend adventures. If you're in the market for something efficient, easy to live with, and undeniably modern, this one's definitely worth your attention. Number 4. Volkswagen T1 Samba. Let's talk about something legendary that might just make its way into the modern world. The 2026 Volkswagen T1 Samba. This is a nameplate that means freedom, road trips, culture, and more than half a century of automotive nostalgia, all wrapped up in one instantly recognizable silhouette. Think of the classic Samba bus with all those panoramic windows and that retro vibe that's basically a rolling icon. Now, I know you're here for the new version, so let's imagine what a 2026 reimagining could be like, blending vintage charm with today's technology. Picture that soulful, round front microbus shape with its iconic two-tone body and that smile-like VW face, but updated with modern LED lighting and sharper body lines that still pay respect to the original design. It's nostalgic, but it still looks fresh. Under the hood, or more accurately beneath the floor, the spirit of the T1 Samba is expected to shift toward electrification. While Volkswagen hasn't released full production specs just yet, concepts like the e-Bully have shown what's possible. An electric powertrain replacing the old air-cooled engine with a battery pack and electric motor that deliver noticeably more torque and smoother power delivery for today's roads. That electric setup gives it plenty of urban confidence and a usable range that's perfect for weekend getaways and cruising coastal highways alike. Now, the Samba hasn't historically been an off-road warrior like some SUVs out there, and that's part of its charm. But imagine this: modern stability control, available all-wheel drive enhancements, similar to what we've seen in the new ID. Buzz variants, and a suspension tuned for comfort will make the 2026 version a very capable companion, whether you're navigating dirt campground roads or snowy passes. It's not climbing Everest, but it will happily take you to your favorite scenic outlook. Inside, expect the cabin to feel like a perfect blend of retro cool and present-day comfort. Big windows for that breathtaking view, comfy seating for friends or family, and modern tech like touchscreen infotainment, smartphone connectivity, and digital displays that nod to the classic dash, but are streamlined for today's expectations. It's the kind of interior that makes road trips feel timeless, yet super convenient. As for pricing, nothing official is out yet. But if Volkswagen positions the 2026 T1 Samba close to the premium end of the modern microbus or lifestyle vehicle segment, think collectible appeal with everyday usability, it's likely to attract buyers who want something unique, fun, and a bit nostalgic. It won't be cheap, but for many fans, the return of such a cultural icon will be worth it. Compared to past T1 Samba models, the ones with the panoramic skylight windows and that distinctive retro allure that have been treasured by collectors for decades, the 2026 version is shaping up to honor that legacy while bringing it into the present with electric power, modern comfort, and tech that makes it easier to drive daily. Number 5. Toyota RAV4. Let's talk about the 2026 Toyota RAV4, because Toyota is clearly not playing it safe with this one. The RAV4 has been one of the best-selling SUVs for years, and instead of just tweaking a few things and calling it a day, Toyota looks like they're giving it a meaningful upgrade while keeping everything people already love. First impressions matter, and the design of the 2026 RAV4 feels more confident and modern right away. It still looks like a RAV4, which is important, but the lines are sharper, the front end looks tougher, and the overall shape feels a little more athletic. It's not flashy or overdone, but it definitely has more presence than older models. You can tell Toyota wants this one to feel just as good pulling into a campsite as it does pulling into a grocery store parking lot. One of the biggest highlights is the continued focus on hybrid power. Toyota has basically mastered hybrids at this point, and the 2026 RAV4 benefits from that experience. The hybrid version is expected to be smoother, quieter, and even more efficient, making it a great choice for daily driving. It's the kind of setup where you don't really think about it, you just enjoy the drive and the fewer trips to the gas station. And if you like to get off the pavement every now and then, the RAV4 still has that adventurous side. Certain trims are expected to keep their off-road friendly personality, with confident all-wheel drive and a suspension that's happy dealing with dirt roads, snow, or rough trails. It's not a hardcore off-roader, but it absolutely gives you the freedom to explore without stressing about conditions. Inside, the 2026 RAV4 feels more polished and more comfortable than before. The cabin design is cleaner, the screens are larger and easier to use, and everything feels more thoughtfully laid out. Toyota seems to be focusing on making the interior feel calm and user-friendly, with comfortable seats, smart storage, and tech that helps rather than distracts. Compared to older RAV4s, this one just feels more modern and more enjoyable to spend time in. When it comes to pricing, the 2026 RAV4 is expected to stay right where buyers expect it to be, competitive and reasonable for what you're getting. There may be a slight increase due to new features and tech, but Toyota knows this SUV needs to stay accessible. That's a big part of why it's been so successful. Looking back at previous generations, the 2026 RAV4 feels like a true evolution. It keeps the reliability and practicality that built its reputation, but adds better efficiency, improved comfort, and a more confident design. It's familiar in the best way, but clearly moving forward. Overall, the 2026 Toyota RAV4 looks like it's shaping up to be one of the most well-rounded SUVs out there. Practical, efficient, capable, and easy to live with. If you've liked the RAV4 in the past, this one gives you even more reasons to pay attention.